Do you know why some people never reach their dreams? It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they lack resources. It's not even because life is unfair. Most dreams die in silence, not because the dreamer failed, but because they told the wrong person too soon. You see, your vision is like a fragile flame in the beginning. It's small, it's delicate, it needs protection, and one gust of cold wind from the wrong mouth can blow it out forever. I call these people dream killers, and here's the scary part. They're not always strangers. Sometimes they're your best friends. Sometimes they're your parents. Sometimes they're the people you trust the most. And because you love them, you value their opinion. That's where the danger begins. They don't always attack your dreams with anger. Sometimes they do it with a smile. Sometimes it's just a little laugh, a shake of the head, or a "be realistic" that sounds harmless. But that single comment starts echoing in your head. You tell them you want to start a business. They'll tell you about all the people who failed. You tell them you want to be an artist. They'll remind you that there's no money in that. You tell them you want to change your life. They'll tell you that's not how the real world works. And slowly, you start to believe them. Not because they're right, but because you let their voice become louder than your own. Understand this, and when you share your plans with dream killers, you hand them the blueprint to your heart, and some people will use that blueprint to destroy, not to build. They can't see your vision because it's not theirs to see. They can't imagine your success because they've already given up on their own. So instead of encouraging you, they try to pull you back into the same safe, predictable, small box they live in. If you truly want to protect your future, you must protect your plans. Not everyone deserves to know what you're building. Not everyone has earned the right to hear your vision. Some things are best kept in the vault of your heart until they're strong enough to face the world. And when the time is right, you won't need to tell them what you were planning. You'll show them. Not everyone deserves to hear your plans. This is one of the hardest lessons I learned in life. You see, when you have a dream, the natural instinct is to share it. We're human. We want validation. We want excitement. We want someone to look at us and say, "Wow, that's amazing. I believe in you." But here's the truth. Not everyone will respond that way. And if you tell your plans to the wrong person, you might not just lose your excitement. You might lose your dream. When your idea is fresh, it's like a baby bird. It can't fly yet. It's fragile. It needs shelter, and it's still figuring out how to grow strong. But when you share it too soon, you open the door for storms to come in before your wings are ready. And some storms come in the form of people. They may not even intend to hurt you, but they will. You tell them, "I'm going to start a business," and they reply, "Do you know how many businesses fail in the first year?" You tell them, "I'm going to write a book," and they say, "There are already thousands of books out there." You tell them, "I'm going to travel the world," and they remind you of every possible danger. These are the seeds of doubt, planted in your mind by someone who doesn't even carry your vision. But here's the key. It's not your job to make them understand. They don't have to see your dream, because it wasn't given to them. Your dream is personal. It was placed in your heart for you to build, not for them to approve. And the faster you understand this, the stronger you will become. Look at the most successful people in the world. They didn't run around telling everyone what they were going to do. They worked, they planned, they sacrificed in silence, because they knew the value of keeping their plans away from people who can't see beyond their own limitations. If you surround yourself with people who can't see the future you see, they will try to pull you back to the present they're stuck in. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why dreams get crushed so easily. It's because we think other people's opinions are equal to our vision. But their opinion is just that, an opinion. It is not your reality unless you make it your reality. If you listen long enough, they will talk you out of everything that makes you extraordinary. This is why you must become a gatekeeper. Imagine your dream is a beautiful, priceless diamond. You wouldn't hand it to just anyone. You wouldn't leave it lying around for people to throw stones at it. You'd protect it. You'd hide it. You'd make sure only those who value it get to hold it. Your plans deserve that same level of protection. Not everyone has earned the right to know what you're working on. Some people are dream builders, others are dream burglars. The builders will cheer for you, push you, and help you grow. The burglars will quietly steal your energy, your focus, and your belief in yourself. You can't stop people from being who they are, but you can stop giving them access to your vision. So the next time you feel that urge to tell someone your big plan, ask yourself, have they proven they can handle it? Have they shown me they will encourage me, not discourage me? Do they truly want to see me win, or are they secretly hoping I fail? Because here's the truth, some people smile at you, but inside, they are waiting for you to fall so they can feel better about not trying. Your dream will require focus, discipline, and resilience. The wrong voices will break all three. So, keep your plans in a safe place. Work quietly. Build privately. Let your success show up one day and shock the people who doubted you. They won't be able to say a word because the results will speak louder than anything you could have explained. Remember, silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. The less they know, the less they can sabotage. And the moment you understand that not everyone deserves to hear your plans, that's the moment you take the first real step toward protecting your destiny. The problem with sharing your dream with the wrong person is not just that they won't understand it, it's that they will judge it through the wrong lens. Dream killers don't see your potential, they only see your limitations. When you tell them you're going to do something big, they immediately start measuring you against your past, not your future. If you failed before, they'll remind you. If you've never done it before, they'll question your ability. If you've struggled in the past, they'll assume you'll struggle again. They focus on what you don't have instead of what you do have. This is why you must be careful, because when they speak, they're not describing reality. They're describing their version of reality, and if you're not strong enough, you will start to see yourself the way they see you. Imagine telling someone, "I'm going to build a company," and they respond, "But you don't even have business experience." That's not a fact. That's their perspective. The truth is, every successful entrepreneur once had no experience. Imagine saying, "I'm going to be a public speaker," and they laugh, "But you're shy." They're not wrong about who you were, but they can't see who you're becoming. And here's the real danger. They will sound logical. They'll back their opinions with statistics, with stories of people who failed, with practical reasons why it won't work. But logic without vision is just limitation in disguise. They're not trying to inspire you to rise above. They're trying to pull you down to where they are. You see, most dream killers are not intentionally cruel. They're just trapped in their own fears. They've learned to live within the walls of their comfort zone, and when they see you reaching for something beyond those walls, it threatens them. Your ambition reminds them of the risks they never took, the chances they let slip away, the dreams they abandoned. And instead of admitting that to themselves, they try to convince you that your dream isn't worth it. I learned this early in my life. When I started my first projects, people around me would say, "Jack, you're not the smartest guy in the room. You're not from a rich family. You've failed so many times already. Why not get a safe job?" They weren't wrong about my failures. They weren't wrong about my background, but they were wrong about my potential, because potential isn't written in your past. It's created in your future. That's the part dream killers never see. They look at you like you're a photograph, frozen in one moment of your life. But you are not a photograph. You are a movie, and your story is still being written. Your skills can grow. Your mindset can change. Your circumstances can improve. And in time, you can become unrecognizable from the person they thought you were. So, what do you do when people only see your limitations? You stop trying to convince them. You don't waste your time proving your vision to those who are blind to it. You invest that time in building yourself until the results speak louder than their doubts. Because here's the truth. Nothing shuts a dream killer up faster than undeniable success. One day, the same people who said, "You can't," will ask you, "How did you do it?" And you'll realize they didn't see your potential because they didn't believe in their own. And that's okay. They don't have to believe. You are not here to get their approval. You are here to turn your potential into reality. Never forget, their vision of you is not your limit. Their opinion is not your destiny. And the day you stop letting other people's view of you define your value is the day you step into your true power. Doubt is contagious, and it spreads faster than you think. You don't need to be physically close to someone for their doubt to infect you. All it takes is one conversation, one sentence, one little seed of negativity planted in your mind, and suddenly, it starts to grow. You've probably experienced this. You feel excited about something, full of energy and vision. Then you tell someone and they give you that look, the one that says, "I don't think this is going to work." Maybe they don't even say the words, but you can feel the weight of their disbelief. And just like that, the fire in your heart doesn't feel as strong. That's how doubt works. It doesn't kill your dream in one blow. It slowly chips away at your confidence until you don't even remember why you started. Here's the danger. Doubt doesn't just live in words, it lives in tone, in body language, in the energy people bring into your life. You might walk away from a conversation thinking, they're probably right. But what you're really thinking is, maybe I'm not good enough, and that's a dangerous place to be. Why? Because once you accept doubt, it starts to multiply. You replay their words in your head. You start looking for signs that they were right. You interpret small challenges as big warnings. Before you know it, you're not even chasing your dream anymore. You're just trying to avoid failing. Let me tell you something. Failure won't kill you, but doubt will. Failure is an event. You try, it doesn't work. You learn, you try again. But doubt is a disease. Once it's inside you, it can paralyze you before you even begin. That's why you have to protect yourself like a doctor protects against infection. Think of your dream as your health. If you want to stay healthy, you avoid people who are sick. In the same way, if you want to stay motivated, you avoid people whose mindset is infected with doubt. I'm not saying you can avoid negativity completely. Life doesn't work like that. But you can choose how much access you give to those voices. You can choose to keep conversations about your vision limited to people who fuel you, not drain you. When I first started Alibaba, there were many who doubted me, and some of them were close to me. They would say, "Jack, you have no money, no technology, no background in this field. How can you compete?" If I had listened to all of them, I would have quit before I even started. But instead of absorbing their doubt, I surrounded myself with people who believed in possibilities, not just problems. You see, belief is just as contagious as doubt. The right people can inspire you, encourage you, and remind you of your strengths. And when you're building something, especially in the early stages, you need belief around you like you need air. So here's my advice. Guard your environment. If you want to protect your dream, protect your mind. If you wouldn't drink dirty water, don't let dirty thoughts into your head. And when you do hear doubt, because you will, treat it like background noise. Acknowledge it, but don't let it control your decisions. Because in the end, the difference between those who succeed and those who give up often comes down to one thing: the voice they chose to believe. Make sure the loudest voice in your life is the one that says, "You can." There is a power in silence that most people never understand. Everyone wants to talk. Everyone wants to announce their plans, post their progress, tell the world what they're about to achieve. But here's the truth. The more you talk, the more room you give for opinions, criticism, and distraction. And the more you expose your dream before it's ready, the more vulnerable it becomes. Think of your dream like a seed you just planted. If you keep digging it up every day to show people how it's growing, you'll kill it before it has a chance to take root. Growth needs time. It needs protection. It needs the right environment, not the noise of constant judgment. This is why the most successful people you see today didn't get there by broadcasting every move they made. They worked in silence, in private, away from the noise. They didn't need to convince anyone. They didn't need applause halfway through the journey. They understood something powerful. You don't win the game by telling everyone your next move. You win by making the move and letting the scoreboard do the talking. When you build in silence, you take away the power of distraction. You take away the temptation to defend your dream to people who don't even want to understand it. You stop wasting energy on explanations and use that energy for execution. Talking feels good in the moment, but doing the work feels better in the long run, because results are the only language the world truly respects. You see, silence isn't weakness. Silence is strategy. When people don't know what you're doing, they can't interfere. They can't sabotage. They can't fill your head with doubt. And here's the beauty. Silence makes your success even more powerful. Imagine working quietly for months, maybe years, and then one day, you launch, you achieve, you deliver, and the people who doubted you are left speechless. They'll ask, "When did you do all this?" And you'll smile because you know you did it while they were busy talking. When I was building Alibaba, there were countless critics, countless people ready to tell me it couldn't be done. But instead of arguing with them, I let them talk while I worked. I didn't need to prove them wrong with words. I was going to prove them wrong with results. And when those results came, they spoke louder than any speech I could have given. Building in silence also protects you from an even bigger enemy, premature praise. Because here's the trap. When you tell people your plans and they cheer for you too soon, you might start feeling like you've already achieved something. That false sense of accomplishment can make you slow down, lose focus, and relax before you've earned the win. But when you keep quiet, there's no applause to distract you, only the sound of your own determination pushing you forward. So, my advice to you is simple. Stop announcing every step. Stop giving people a front row seat to your process. Let them see the finished masterpiece, not the messy sketches. Use the element of surprise to your advantage. The less they know, the more impact your success will have when it arrives. Because in the end, people might forget what you said you were going to do, but they will never forget what you actually did. So work, build, create, achieve, and let your silence become the loudest sound they've ever heard. One of the hardest truths you will ever face is this. Sometimes the people who will doubt you the most are the people you love the most. It's not always strangers. Strangers don't know you well enough to kill your dream. The real danger often comes from the people you trust, your family, your friends, even your closest circle. And because they are close to you, their words hit harder, cut deeper, and stick longer. Here's why it hurts more. You expect strangers to doubt you, but you expect your loved ones to cheer for you. You want them to be your biggest supporters. You want them to look at your dream and say, "I believe in you. Go for it." And when they don't, it feels like betrayal. But before you turn that pain into anger, understand something. Most of the time, they're not trying to destroy you. They're trying to protect you. They're speaking from their own life experience, their own fears, their own definition of possible. Your parents might tell you to be realistic because they've seen how hard life can be. Your friends might warn you about taking risks because they're scared you'll get hurt. Your siblings might laugh at your dream because they can't imagine doing something so big themselves. They're not seeing your vision, they're seeing their limits. When I told people about my ideas in the early days, many of my closest friends said, "Jack, stop dreaming so big, play it safe, get a stable job." They weren't bad people, they just loved me in a way that made them want to keep me safe from failure. But here's the problem. Safety doesn't create greatness. Comfort doesn't build dreams. If you listen too closely to these voices, you'll start to confuse love with truth. Just because someone loves you doesn't mean they know what's best for your future. Love can be protective, but it can also be limiting. If you're not careful, you'll start living their version of your life instead of your own. That's why you have to separate emotional closeness from strategic influence. You can love someone deeply, but still not take advice from them when it comes to your dreams. You can listen to their concerns without letting their fear dictate your actions. Sometimes, the best way to protect your dream is to keep certain parts of it private, even from those closest to you. Not because you don't trust them, but because you don't want to burden your vision with their doubts. Think of it like protecting a child. You wouldn't expose them to harm just because someone you love wanted to check on them. You'd keep them safe until they're strong enough to face the world. And here's the beautiful thing. When you succeed, those same people who doubted you will often become your biggest supporters. They'll tell others, "I always knew they could do it." And maybe they didn't, but it doesn't matter, because your success will speak for itself. So if someone you love doesn't believe in your dream, don't let it break you. Let it teach you. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it remind you that this is your journey, not theirs. Because the truth is, your dream doesn't need everyone's approval. It only needs your commitment. At the end of the day, you can't blame them for not seeing what you see. Your vision was given to you for a reason, and sometimes protecting it means quietly carrying it in your heart until the world is ready to see it. If you want, I can now expand key point 6, prove them wrong without saying a word, into another 600 words, so your speech ends with a strong, victorious energy that will leave your audience inspired to take action immediately. The sweetest way to silence a dream killer is not with arguments, it's with results. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to spend hours explaining why your dream will work. Let them think what they want to think. Let them underestimate you. Let them laugh, because while they are talking, you are building. While they are doubting, you are working. And one day, you'll show them something so undeniable that their words will disappear. You see, people's opinions are just noise, but results are proof. You can't argue with evidence. You can't debate with success. That's why the most powerful response to a dream killer is not, "I'll prove you wrong." It's simply doing the work so well that one day they can't ignore you. This requires discipline, because in the beginning, you'll feel the urge to defend yourself. You'll want to explain your vision, to convince them to believe, but that's energy wasted. Every moment you spend trying to change their mind is a moment you could be using to change your life. When I started Alibaba, people said, "Jack, you don't know technology. You're too small to compete. You're wasting your time." I didn't argue. I didn't try to make them see my vision. I kept working. And years later, those same people were asking for advice on how to build their own businesses. That's the power of results. It turns doubters into believers without a single word. But here's the important part. Proving them wrong should never be your main motivation. If you make your mission about revenge, your success will feel empty. The goal is not to make them feel bad. The goal is to make yourself proud. The goal is to build the life you want, to live the dream you have, to become the person you're meant to be. If along the way that also silences the people who said you couldn't, well, that's just a bonus. There is something deeply satisfying about working in silence and letting your achievements speak for you. It's the moment you walk into a room and people who once doubted you are suddenly quiet. It's the moment they realize they were wrong, not because you told them, but because you showed them. So here's my advice. Stop announcing, stop defending, stop chasing approval. Let your results be your speech, your success be your statement, and your life be the ultimate answer to every critic. Work so hard, so smart, and so consistently that when they finally see what you've built, they have no choice but to respect it. And remember, you don't need to prove everyone wrong. Some people will never admit they were wrong, no matter how successful you become, and that's fine. This journey was never about them. It was always about you. One day, you will look back and realize something powerful. The best thing those dream killers ever gave you was doubt, because doubt forced you to dig deeper, to work harder, and to stay focused. Without their voices, you might have taken it easy, but because they doubted you, you made sure there was no room for them to be right. So keep your head down, keep moving forward, and when the time comes, let your success do all the talking. That way, when history is written, their names will be forgotten, but your results will be remembered forever. If you want, I can now craft a powerful conclusion for the full speech that ties all 6 key points together and leaves your audience with one unforgettable final push to protect their dreams. This would make the speech ready for a YouTube delivery. So now you know, not everyone deserves to hear your plans. Dream killers will see your limitations, not your potential. Doubt is contagious, and you can't afford to catch it. The most powerful moves you will ever make are made in silence. And yes, sometimes the people you love most will be the ones who unknowingly try to hold you back. But in the end, the greatest revenge, the most beautiful victory, is proving them wrong without saying a single word. Your dream is a seed, delicate, valuable, full of potential. And in the beginning, it needs protection, not exposure. You must guard it like treasure, feed it with belief, and water it with action. And when it grows strong enough, it will speak for itself. This world is full of voices. Some will lift you higher, others will pull you down, but only one voice truly decides your future, your own. The question is, which voice will you listen to? Will you let the voices of fear and doubt define your limits? Or will you choose to trust the voice inside you that says, "I can and I will"? The next time someone laughs at your dream, smile. The next time they say, "Be realistic," nod and keep moving. The next time they doubt you, don't waste your breath defending yourself, because your real answer will come later in the form of success so undeniable it silences every critic. One day, when your dream becomes your reality, they will ask, "How did you do it?" And you'll smile because you'll know you did it by protecting your vision, staying focused, and refusing to let anyone else's small thinking destroy your big destiny. So, from this day forward, make yourself a promise. I will protect my dream. I will guard my plans. I will choose my circle wisely. I will work in silence, and I will let my success be my voice. Because the truth is, you don't need the whole world to believe in you. You just need you. And if you can hold on to that belief, even when no one else can see what you see, nothing can stop you. Now go, build, work, rise, and when the time is right, let the world hear your silence turn into thunder.